Hello, teacher. I'm going to talk about the final work. The topic is the four skills on teaching English language. Um, Keywords most important words of the essay: reading, writing, listening, speaking, teaching, language, learning, education, skills, introduction. When introducing this topic about the four basic skills to learn a language is in this case the English language, there is no doubt the importance of without a doubt is important to emphasize that through daily activities, teachers provide students opportunities to develop any skills in particular. Is what we will see next. The four skills describe the four abilities. Listen, there is a big difference between hearing and listening. Hearing is perceiving vibration of sound. Listening involves understanding and making sense of what is heard. Speaking, people develop this linguistic ability automatically by listening to more people. They beginning to relate in a natural way a set of specific word sound with a specific meaning. The development of reading is the key to good learning in all areas of knowledge. It is absolutely necessary to understand what is read to assimilate the context. And writing is the way to put the words spoken on paper. It is the longest teaching process for a person. What is listening? Listening is the first language skills we require in our native language. Is what is known as a receptive skills or a passive skills, as it requires us to use our ears and our brains to comprehend language as it begins spoken to us. What is speaking? Speaking is the second language skills we require in our native language. Is what is known as a productive skills or active skills, as it requires us to use our vocal tract and our brains to correctly produce language through sound. It is the second of two natural language skills. What is reading? Reading is the first language skills we may acquire in our native language. As with listening is a receptive or passive skills, as it requires us to use our eyes and our brains to comprehend the writing equivalent of spoken language. What is writing? Writing is the four language skills we may acquire in our native language, as with speaking is a productive or active skills as it requires us to use our hands and our brains to produce the writing symbols that represent our spoken language. Um, See how are the four skills classified. Language skills are classified as follows according to the oral or writing code and the receptive or productive role they have in communication. For example, according to the code, oral, receptive or comprehension can be to hear, or productive or expression to speak, writing to read and to write. Um, how do how do we integrate the four skills? Listening, for example, listening is key, and can be considered the basic of others. The greater the ability of the students of listening comprehension, the greater the ability to develop other skills. In the language laboratory, the teacher can distribute audio and video in real time to his students and create different work groups and then carry out highly motivating activities. Reading. On the other hand, we provide a mental structure and give richness to the vocabulary, which will benefit speech. The teacher has function in the language laboratory that allow him to show a document to the whole class during a specific time and thus to get the students to provide their agility and reading comprehension. The right we give importance to the message and its presentation. It requires a more pause and more elaborated communication in which the student has time to elaborate the message. The teacher can activate different functions such as group chat, where each group of students can share ideas and carry out collaborated activities on the same job. Finally, speaking is the main objective of the students. Speech will be especially noticed by all the resources that we can equip the students. The more he reads and listens, the greater his process will be. It can be said that the speech is the clearest result of the sum of all the material resources invested. In a traditional classroom, it's sometimes difficult to get the students to have fluent and motivating conversation. Advantage and disadvantage of the four skills. Um, well, I think that it is suitable for learning a new language. Have the ability to form a conversation of the language that is being learned in automatic control of speaking, and to master to the four linguistic skills through speaking, writing, listening, and reading. Disadvantage. I think that on some teaching occasion that the four skills are not required. Um, Conclusion. I have learned in this course of this final work that when we learn our mother tongue, when we learn by listening, in this case, um, uh, another language like this um, is English, is so important listening, listening because it's the force that we can get more vocabulary. Um, then by talking, then by learning to read, and finally by learning to write. When learning English or other language, it's necessary to develop those four skills: listening, speaking, reading, and writing. I think that the most important things when I was learning English in the immersion program was listening. All the times I listen music, um, movies, and the internet is so important. There's skills for learning a new language. In this case, the case of English. This is all, teacher. Thank you very much. It was nice to have class with you. Thank you very much.